The passing of Art Neville is tough on any day, but it's even tougher considering the recent loss of several New Orleans icons. Tan Trung takes a look at some of the musical giants we've lost.
Are you ready, people?
Well before YouTube was ever a word, let alone a music source, the Neville brothers were spreading the sound of New Orleans.
Little bitty boy, got a heart of steel.
In this 1991 performance at Tipitina's, you can see a younger Art and Charles Neville and the rest of the Nevilles on stage. Charles died last year, and today, Art joined his brother. In 2008, before Jazz Fest, Art talked about their musical journey.
I feel like that I've saved my life anyway, and all of us, but it's been like an enchanted life.
Most of that enchanted life was always connected to New Orleans.
We had moved for a little while into Tennessee, but I can't take that. Had to come back to New Orleans, you know what I'm saying? I mean, Valence Street, that's where I've been.
The passing of Art Neville comes after New Orleans said goodbye to Dr. John and Dave Bartholomew just last month. In 2017, Fats Domino passed away, preceded by Pete Fountain and Allen Toussaint. Collectively, they've carved out a lasting space in music history. Fortunately, we can still watch and listen to legends.
And that was Tan Trung reporting. We have continuing coverage on the death of Art Neville with more reaction right here on Channel 4. You can also follow us on WWLTV.com, our app, and social media pages.